Okay, so let's start with our presentation and like the walkthrough of the Nightingale, which is a tool which is dependent on the Docker, which is completely created on the Docker technology, and which is very useful to in terms of performance and in terms of giving all the like good requirement in terms of like if we compare this particular tool with what virtual machines. So let's get started. So I work as an IS analyst second at FIS Global. I done my certificate from ISAC, that is under the NSD, which is Cybercrime Intervention Officer. And apart from that, I'm a part of SYNAC team member. I contribute to the WAPS community. I usually do records, the videos on practical implementation in terms of cybersecurity field. I do write blogs on my findings, my walkthrough, like how I start for this particular process in terms of penetration testing. And apart from that, I love to play guitar and mostly in the indie music. And apart from my introduction, I give talks on Black Hat Arsenal Asia 2022. I did in Global AppSec. I also did give the talks on OAPS DKT chapter and of course Securzy chapter. And I believe like most of the participants who have joined in this session has also faced this particular problem, like setting up the virtual machine in one day, and the next day or after the day after tomorrow, like your virtual machine got crashed, and you have to again set up all the tools and all the configuration and other sort of thing again and again and again. So with that only, Nightingale came into an existence, and Nightingale is the alternative solution for that. So Nightingale, it's a completely Docker image for the pentester. By mean of Docker image, is in this Docker image, you will be able to provide each and every tool configuration and other sort of configuration will be available in that particular Docker image. Let's say I'm using Windows, then I will install Docker engine or Docker for Windows. Similarly, if you are using let's say Ubuntu, then you need to install the Docker CLI, and for Mac you have to do the same. The second point is it has multiple programming languages. So the next point is booting is very fast. And the last point, which is again I have already mentioned, that it is very easy to set up. You only need to run one command, and the only requirement is you have the Docker engine installed in your respective operating system. The concept of using Docker here is the resource, like the using of the resources over your host machine. Now, if we talk about the containerization system, so here, what exactly? The main change is the operating system. Now we are not installing the multiple operating system here. We have the only one operating system, and above that we are installing the container Docker engine or container engine, which will run your like separate applications or the operating system in a container, and that container will only use this the resources, as much as this particular container will be required at the time of running or at the time of like the active state of the container. So this is how I choose the Docker container, containerization system for creating this particular tool. So this is how the tool look like. Now if you want to check like if you are able to access the tools or not, then you can also do that. Let's say if you want to scan URL, let's say nmap example.com. So it will start the scanning, it will start the probing for this particular example.com, and in few minutes it will provide you the output. Okay, now this is also one of the feature. So like you usually open multiple terminals in your virtual machine, and those multiple terminals have separate work processes going on that particular time. Let's say if you have opened two terminal, and in first terminal you are using nmap, and in the second terminal you are using skmap. So these those terminals are completely independent to each other. So same goes with the Nightingale also. Like can we do mobile pen testing or mobile app analysis in this particular tool, with this particular tool or not? So yes, you can do that also. Okay, so for now I have configured MobSF like in this particular version, and for the real-time mobile system, so that configuration is under development, but soon you will be providing all the updates with the with this new tool also. And as you can see, the process has been just started. Now you have seen this particular thing like 0.0.0.0:8081. If I want to use this particular, I mean, MobSF environment, then you have to change the 8081, and it will take a bit of time to run. Yes, it has started. Currently, I will show you the like the Android connectivity. So okay, now my environment has been connected. So we need to check like is our devices actually connected or not. So as you can see in the list of the devices which is attached, and the device has been connected. Okay, let me try this thing, Frida. Okay, cool. So we have the Frida, right? So like as I have already connected to my Android device, so it will capture all the packages which is running in the background of the Android device, which is completely rooted device. So like as you can see here, I have just installed the injured APK, which is again a like intended vulnerable application. So if you want to search, let's say the package name of this particular tool, then you can get the package name also. To start with the shell process, then you need to run adb shell. You will be in the environment of the Android device. Let's go with the sudo, and who am I? So as you can see, I'm the root user. That signifies that my Android device is completely rooted. Packages. So as you can see, you will be able to get all the package name from the adb shell also. If you have created the directory, which is a very best practice to create a directory for a specific target. So today we will put let's say test, and then put in the test. What I will do is like adb full and followed by the path. So in that way, your base APK will be available in the I mean the test folder. Like if you think like some of the tools will be added in this particular tool, then you can add that. You can raise a PR for the same, and I will be reviewing all the like great work by all of you like participant who genuinely wants to add some of the tools which you think like it will make an impact, and it will use to others who will be going to use this tool in future. Like let's say if you have like configured some of the tools configuration sort of thing here, and you won't be able to recover those configurations, then you don't need to worry about like you need to set up all the configuration again. So let's say your container will completely crashed, or it will purge. Then what you have to do is just run this another new container, and all your configuration will be coming to the container itself. You don't need to add or do any of the alteration in the configuration files. And like once you will run the container, your all the configuration and all the tools will be available inside this particular Docker image. Please do reach out to me on my LinkedIn page or on my Twitter page. Thank you guys. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.